Let's find out what the next challenge will be for the Build a Journal November project. Hello and welcome to the Treasured Page. I'm Melanie and this is our quiet crafting space. So today I'm having a look at the signatures that are in front of me. They are all looking ready to be bound into the journal, so we will definitely be doing that in this next week or so. I will be having a look at all the supplies and making a journal cover. But today we need to hear about the next challenge for November. So this month's project is going to be all about the humble envelope. The inspiration comes from this pack of vintage letters. How lovely they all look bound up with the ribbon or the string. They conjure up all sorts of intrigue as to what's inside, what friendships were created, what kindness among their pages, what upset or sad times or news or good tidings, birthday wishes, and all of the wonderful history that is amongst these pages. So this bundle of letters has inspired this project. We're having a theme to this project and it's going to be called Letters to a Friend. What you're going to need is 4 envelopes. The envelopes can be handmade, they could be made from your own papers that you've dyed, they can be made out of digital kits or pretty decorative papers, and they can also be ones that you make up your own design. Perhaps they're a pocket or a pouch, they could be the sort of thing that is like giant seed packets, but the envelope is the thing that we're looking at. You can have one with windows in, you can alter them, you can do whatever you want. This is a complete carte blanche to your creative inspiration on how you can decorate envelopes. So we are going to be taking 4 envelopes, and I've just sort of dug out the ones that I have already ink stained and nothing is happening with them. They are just sitting here in a pile. I have them all the same size, and I think that that is quite important. So if we have a look at our original inspiration here, they are all quite small, and that was the style, to have those smaller envelopes. They're all letters, so there's all writing paper within, which is really nice, and they've got the stamps and the postage marks and obviously the address. You can have them in varying sizes. You do need to keep them thin, and you perhaps don't want to go too large with them, and I'll explain the reasons for that as we go. So this is an envelope that I have deconstructed and I've folded that out. Once you've got your template, you'll be able to cut around your coffee dyed papers, tea stain papers, or anything else that you have. You may like to use eco dyed papers, you may like to use rust. There's all sorts of different things that you could use, but the thing is you need to have 4 envelopes. So if I just take these as my demonstration, and just so you can see, these are just altered original envelopes that have been put into a dye bath, or they have been eco-dyed, so they have all got ink effects and various things going on. They're old and weathered, and that's a starting point, but you don't need to have papers like this. They could be really, really beautiful digital kits in all sorts of different patterns, but they don't have to be this. They could be any style that you like. It could be mixed media, it could be beautiful decorative papers that you fold into. Some of you may even have a envelope maker, and that is something that looks like this. They can be acquired very inexpensively from all good craft stores. You will be able to make something very similar to that just by following the guides and looking out the measurements of your paper, and then scoring on the lines with the scoring tool that comes with these things. So that's a good little buy. I must admit I don't tend to use it anymore, but what came with it was this corner punch and then the little notch that you can cut out of your paper to create a shape like that. So one of those is excellent for making envelopes, but I think that just drawing around you'll get the image that you need. So this project is all about us being able to practice tab binding. And for this you're going to need 2-inch strips of fabric or trim or lace or some sort of canvas, anything that you can get your hands on that gives you some strength. It could be cotton, it could be linen, it could be some different thickness, it could be a scrap, it could be an old ticket off some clothing, something that you dye. You can then embellish it further. So once you've found some fabric, it could be plain fabric that you stamp on, it could be a strong electrical tape that you then glue something else over the top and embellish and hide it. I'm going to play around with what the possible tabs can be. So let me do a demonstration of what we're trying to achieve. You're going to need 8 tabs. I've got 9, so I'm just removing that one. So my tabs are made of fabric, and I've got them from Fabric Tape by Tim Holtz, and they have a sticky backing, but you can easily make your own by finding some fabric and sticking on a double-sided sticky tape, so we can play with that as well. But just for the demo and for ease and speed, I will be using these tabs here. So these peel away to reveal a sticky backing, and that is just a double-sided sticky tape. So if you lay down double-sided sticky tape, then cut your fabric, you'll have the exact same thing. This could be from a canvas tote bag, just want to put a bit of glue on it, and then we're going to be using these as our tabs. So have a look at your tabs. You're going to need to have them in roughly equal size. I've got 2 inches by 1 inch, which is 5 centimetres by 2.5 centimetres, and I'm going to need 8 of these. I've got the other 3 just off camera. When you've got your bundle of 4 envelopes, just turn them round and check that you've got the flap facing up and they are all in the same position. They don't need to be in the same position, but you do need to be able to get into them. When you've got your envelopes, just check that you are going to be binding on the bottom edge and not the edge where you've got the flap opening. So the binding will always be going on the bottom of the envelope. So when you've got your envelopes how you want them, and you can definitely get to the inside of them as a functioning opening envelope, we want to have 3 tabs coming in 1/2 inch, maybe 2 centimetres in onto your project. So it's going to be something like that. We space them out with an equal distance, so it's good to put the first ones on, then put the middle one in, and roughly have a look at the distance. Then get another tab and just make sure that it fits in there nice and clears those 2. You don't want them too close together. When you've done that, you will be able to stick them down onto the top. So coming in by about 1/2 inch, and just I'm lining it up on the top there. So I just want to have it like that. And now I've got the bottom one stuck on so that I can find the one here for the middle. So just leaving a line like that. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Let's turn this one over, and now we can see our 3 tabs. Then we're taking the next page and we're putting it here, and we are adding on the next tab in the same way, but this time it has to fit inside here. So we are only adding 2 tabs this time, so 3 on the first one, 2 on the second one, and then just come in, just make sure that's going to work. Okay, so you should have 2 envelopes now that looks like that. One with 3 tabs on, one with 2 tabs on, and the flaps are at the top, and they're both looking like that. So we bend them together, we put our first page on top of our second page like this, line it up, and then we push down the first tabs that we made. Being careful not to glue shut our envelope. So now we've got, so these were the first 2, they've been folded down. Now we've got 2 sticking up, and we're going to repeat the process for the 3rd page. So we just take one of our tabs, put it up at the top, we can put this over here, and we just want to make sure that we are not going to interfere with this one. Like that. Okay, so we've got page 1 had 3 tabs, page 2 had 2 tabs, page 3 has 3 tabs, and page 4 will have no tabs. So what we do is we line them up, page 1, 2, and now on top of 3, the same as it always was, we are putting down tab 1 and 2 from page 2, so just the tabs that had 2 on them. All right, so that was just that second page that had 2 tabs is now going down to secure number 3. All right, so it's looking good. And then the last page goes into our stack, and then you've guessed it, we push down the final 3. So this is from page 3 connecting in with page 4. There we go. Now everything is bound and it is secure because we've used fabric, and it is a journal that will lie flat. So just remember, page 1 has 3 tabs, page 2 only has 2 tabs, page 3 has 3 tabs, and page 4 had no tabs. And that is the key to this. So remember where the tabs go. Remember that your pages just get stacked on top of each other as they were originally, and then you start folding down the tabs only over 2 envelopes. So these 3 go folding over page 2, and page 2 folds over page 3, and page 3 folds over page 4. So when you play with it, it begins to make sense. But keep watching the video, rewind back if you need to, but that is the basic structure of the tab binding. Once you've got that tricky bit under your belt, you can then start decorating and have some fun. But for this project, if you are planning on giving this to somebody, then this is a project with a twist. So if this is going to be sent out or given as a gift, this is what we're doing for this challenge. We're going to be taking these 4 numbers, number 3, number 10, number 17 and number 24. Your first envelope will be number 3, and you might like to do a little tab there that secures the envelope down, but this number needs to appear on this envelope for number 3. Number 10 needs to appear on the second envelope. The number 17 needs to appear on the third envelope, and 24 needs to appear on our final envelope. And if you can guess, let's have a think. This project is the November project to be delivered to a friend for the first week of December. And if you can work that out, you would see that the 3rd is a Sunday in December, the 10th, the 17th and the 24th are all Sundays in December 2023. And what I'm proposing is you send this and give this to somebody and give them an instruction to open an envelope on each Sunday in December, and inside you can put some goodies and treats and a fun letter, something interesting to find throughout December to spread a little bit of junk journaling joy. You can add fun ephemera, fun tickets, you can add writing paper, you can add embellishments. It may be that you want to include a tag inside each envelope or a journaling card, but you absolutely don't have to. You just need to give them something that they can open on every Sunday in December and be able to find something of interest that they can use within their journals. If you're not sending it to anybody and you would like to keep this in your journal for you, then of course you can have extra writing space. Perhaps you can add some really nice stamped stationery that you can put inside the envelope to recreate the letters from a friend's theme that we have going on. And this will be a lovely additional piece to any journal because you will be able to add things in there, things that you might not want to have on display if you're going to be using this as a workable journal. It may be that you want to put your till receipts, or you want to put some notes to yourself, to-do lists, anything. I like to have scraps of paper, and then I like to keep them if they're important. So those are things that I don't necessarily want to have on display. Sometimes these things in journals are really, really great. Now, because this journal folds out on each page really flat, you can add that to the journal as an open book if you like, because it would look very nice on a page. It would fit in, and you could create a nice belly band for it to slide into, or some clever way in which that could be added to a journal without adding additional bulk, because it's only 2 envelopes width, so actually it's not going to add that much. It would if it were like that. It may be something that you don't want to have in the journal, and it's a nice thing to have in the drawer, and that's where you keep your special stickers and tickets and all that sort of thing. However, if you open it out, you can have it like this in a journal. It looks really nice once it's all been decorated and embellished, and you could have your belly band and keep it flat but be opened. So I think that that's quite a nice idea. I think the key thing with this project is to try and keep it flat. So maybe avoid chunky embellishments and just stick to paper decoration and paint applications and ink and stenciling and paper stamps, that sort of thing. When you're making your envelopes, again, have a little think about the thickness of the paper that you're using, because it is going to add the bulk. And there we go. So I hope that that's inspired you to have a go at the tab binding and have a little go at making envelopes or decorating envelopes that you already have, and just seeing what you can put there that's going to work. And if this is something you're going to be gifting or swapping, adding to Happy Mail, then maybe consider adding the numbers and having your reciprocant open their envelope on every Sunday in December to receive something really fun to help them with their journals. Keep it simple, keep it fun. Think of the time of year of when it's going to be received, and then you can adapt what you put in this and how you decorate it accordingly. So that's the project. I hope that's inspirational for you. Remember to put your numbers if you're going to be sending this out to somebody within a swap. Do please use the Treasured Page hashtag over on Instagram to share any photos with me of this project. I'd love to see what you come up with. I love the idea of different types of binding, different fabrics that you could use, and I hope that that will give you some inspiration. And I'll leave the link below to a very informative tutorial from Susie at Shabby Soul, who put up a video last year and will demonstrate exactly how to put one of these together. So that was my inspiration. I hope that this is going to be fun for everybody. And if you're wanting to gift these over the holidays, I can't see how you can go wrong with some fun things put inside each envelope. So have a play and do let me know how you get on. Do please leave a comment below. I love hearing from you all, and I hope that this is a really fun make for you this November. Take care everybody, and above everything else, just slow down and make crafting time for you. Bye bye now.